Hello, 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 and welcome back. My name is Sir Jaust, and today we're covering some Fortnite PvP ideas. Now, they are just that, Fortnite PvP ideas. I'm not saying PvP is confirmed. This is not the intent of this video, so if you feel misled, please wait before hitting that dislike button and typing out a nasty comment. Wait until the end of the video. But hey, it's up to you. I can't control what you do. If you are new to this channel, and you probably are, hey, don't forget to subscribe. I do daily streams and stuff of that nature, and then also do some of these like informative kind of speculatory videos. So if that's your style, hey, you might like me. Check out my channel. It's great. And hey, if you guys are returning and you like this type of content, or you're new and you like this type of content, don't forget to hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. But enough with that. Let's get into PvP in Fortnite. So, the first thing you guys are probably thinking is that PvP in Fortnite would break the game. Like, and I agree. If Epic just implemented PvP right now with everything we have, yeah, it would easily be a pay-to-win type of structure. What I'm putting forward is maybe having it separate from PvE. So, in the tabs where you normally click play, or map, or your quests, or all that jazz, have a PvP section as well. You click on that, and then you select one of the 4 heroes. I don't know if teams... You know, depending on, I don't know how they want to do it. Teams could be of 2 or 4 or just single. Single would be really hard. I'm not even going to cover that. That would be, no, you need to have a team. It's a team-based game, all right? But anyway, 2 to 4 players jump into the match. They each spawn on different sides of the map, okay? And then there's like X amount of time. Before we go into the gameplay, so my ideas for the heroes, I feel like that's the most interesting, and I don't want you guys to just click off feeling a little undersatisfied, you know what I mean? What I was thinking is if, like, during that character select screen, they have various abilities, okay? And you can choose maybe the class and their abilities, or the classes just have set abilities. Who knows? I mean, that's up to them to implement. But what I was thinking for the soldier is that it's an all-around average character. Maybe it does more damage to players, right? That would make a lot more sense. If they do a lot more damage to players, maybe the bonus you would get from an assault rifle, maybe. And then they also have maybe the ability for the machine gun, okay? Their Gatling gun as a way to do a lot of damage to husks and players, not so much buildings. Well, then let's say you want to choose the ninja, all right? Well, he is like obviously an assassin. It's a ninja. So maybe have like a stealth ability, right? You click a button, you're invisible for X amount of time, or it gives you awareness of the area around you. You can see through walls, stuff like that. Just the ninja would focus on assassinating enemy characters, players, okay? They have that high mobility. They can get in and out. They still maybe have their dash. I think that's a really good ability. And their whole goal in this PvP world is to assassinate the players, right? Maybe ignore the husks, ignore the buildings, take care of the players so your team can do the rest. Well, then you got the Outlander, and you think, well, what the fuck would the Outlander do? Okay, well, maybe he can be a support or a healer, something like that. I don't really know, or like a resource gatherer. Outlander's kind of like a gray area for me. I think it would be a pretty good, he or she. I think the Outlander would be a pretty good healer, just because there's no healer in PvE, and there's no real reason to have a healer in PvE, because you got like adrenaline rush, and you're smart, and you have traps that heal you. But having that support type character, maybe defensive turrets, that would be a good idea. So you have his bear as a good way to deal with, attacking players and husks. I don't know. The really exciting one, though, is the Constructor. So at first I was kind of nervous. I was like, well, if they added PvP, nothing that really, the only thing that wouldn't correlate would be the Constructor. I mean, all he does is he adds building speed, and he can, have his base, but realistically, he would probably be the most underplayed character. Well, after doing a little thinking, right, I think he's going to be the most played character under this setup. So if you choose the Constructor in that little startup screen, well, you have chosen like the tank, the wall buster, the literal deconstructor of the enemy base. So the caveat for that, right, he'd have maybe a little less mobility, maybe move 10-20% slower than all of his counterparts. He'd have a little bit more health, so he's obviously the tank. And when he gets to the enemy walls, he can either do more damage to them, not with a ranged weapon. He'd need to be up close, otherwise that would just be kind of overpowered. In like some sort of channeled ability, so like, I don't know, he's sitting there hitting at it with a hammer, literally deconstructing the base so you can get through into their core easier, okay? While the enemy team is shooting and raining down on you. That's where the Outlander comes in and needs to heal the Constructor. I don't know. These are just my ideas. If you guys have any specific ideas that you like or you want to change or you think is stupid, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Seriously, this is a growing idea. And if you guys give me enough information, I'm definitely going to make a part 2 of this video. All right, now that we got like the interesting, thought-engaging stuff out of the way, we're gonna cover some of the like PvP design. So obviously, I think I said you spawn at different corners of the map. Okay, you have X amount of time to either build your base, collect resources, and then do the objectives. Okay, so the objectives is kind of a big one I want to talk about, but with the gathering and building, I believe everybody should spawn in with maybe 500 of each resource. Right? So then they have to craft their ammo, they have to build their base, basically have, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes to get ready for the PvP session to begin. Okay, in this time, you can explore, you can even go to the enemy side, but then you risk dying, okay? And dying sets you back because you're not going to just respawn where you are. That wouldn't make any sense. They'll just keep killing you until you're out of your lives. What I propose is that when you die, you have to wait a certain amount of time, and then you head back to base, instantly spawning at your Oracle or your Atlas or whatever you want to, what have you, you know? As the game progresses, this respawn timer gets a little longer because by the time in-game happens, somebody has to win somehow. So I think in the beginning, you have to balance scouting with resource gathering with building. So obviously you have somebody sticking back building while, I don't know, your ninja or your soldiers out there scouting, seeing kind of what the enemy team's doing, making a plan, maybe trying to get a couple picks, because once you kill somebody, maybe you get a couple of their resources. So instead of just whacking a tree for 5 minutes, you can go out and try to hunt and steal some resources. Who knows? So the interesting part, the objectives that I was talking about, it would be kind of hard to implement these, but I think it would be a cool idea to have something like Save the Survivor, or, you know, just those like mini quests that you have, like Rescue Survivor, Save the Survivor, Defend the Blue Glow. Those are actually the only ones I've seen. I'm not super far in the game. I think I'm only like level 18. But anyway, have like one of those side objectives as part of that first 5 minutes, right? And the more of those you complete throughout the game, the more wave points you get. Okay, and wave points are, I don't know, maybe how strong a wave is when it goes, right? So you know how when you're defending something, it's like every, I don't know, it feels like 30 seconds or so, a new batch of husks come through. Well, the more objectives you do in the beginning of the game and even throughout the game, so you could do objectives while maybe you're defending, you send 2 people home, 2 people out, you can build up the power of these waves, maybe upping the level of the waves that are attacking. But ultimately, you're not trying to dominate the other team's base with these waves. Because, I mean, realistically, how hard is it to defend from husks? Come on, guys, you know. What you want to do is have a diversion. So send in the husks, and then you also have your kill squad, which obviously would be Constructor, probably your Outlander, and then maybe the ninja. Okay, soldiers sticking at home to defend the base from the enemy waves who are doing the exact same thing. There would obviously be there would be a meta that happens. I don't know it because none of this is implemented. But as your wave pushes forward, you're also there as like a insurgent kind of, I don't know, spec ops squad or something. You break into the base, make it a little easier, maybe even tear down some defenses that the enemy team has made so your husks can do most of the job for you. The ultimate goal obviously being killing the Atlas, okay? Then you have to ask yourself, okay, so I won the game, what do I get? What's the purpose of me doing this other than lots of fun? So they can actually, Epic can do quite a bit with this. They can obviously have PvP specific rewards, so maybe like armor, better starting off weapons, just little tiny things that you can't necessarily purchase with real money, but that help out your gameplay and put you above the rest. So I don't know. That would, I mean, then it would be play to win, and I like that. I like that aspect. You play to win, but then that puts the casual players behind. I don't know how they'd implement that. Maybe just screw PvP specific items. What you could do is just give people llamas, right? That will get people to not only play PvP, but really try. Because everybody wants llamas. Those things are like crack. Come on, let's be real. And I don't think there would be a problem with PvP play rewarding PvE. Because as we all know, I mean, you could drop $500 and be a boss at PvE. So why not be able to play the game even more in a separate setting to be better at PvE? Because let's say you don't want to spend any money in Fortnite. We've all gotten to that area where we're just like, oh, God, I feel like I have to spend money. And Of course, that helps out Epic. But adding an avenue like, oh, well, you could play PvP and it would help out over here by giving you these llamas. I think that would be really smart on their choice, on their side, to keep people not only engaged in the game, but also keep their wallets kind of full. You will always have people who will buy llamas, Epic, I promise. So, I mean, that's my general idea. I want to know what you guys have to think about it. If you stayed this far and you're not subscribed, hey, do me a huge solid and hit that subscribe button, as well as liking the video if you thought it was good. If you didn't like this idea, you think PvP is a complete bust and none of this will work, hit that thumbs down, and then please, if you would, tell me in the description, or the comment section, why you don't think it'll work, because I want to know. So far, I mean, I haven't met somebody who has convinced me otherwise. So if you can do that, congrats. And hey, I will always admit defeat when it is due. Last off, I do want to just kind of, if you're this far in the video, you obviously like my content. And if you, you can see how many subscribers I have. At the time of making this, I think it's like just under 2,300. And I really like doing YouTube. So if you guys could help me out, I actually have a Patreon set up. All you have to do, click on the link in the description, and then, there's a whole list of rewards there. I even made a video that you can watch that describes exactly what each one does. A little more personal than just kind of reading stuff, you know what I mean? Totally up to you. If you're in the position where you can't donate any money, like real world currency to help me out, that's totally fine. You just being here and actually listening to me right now helps me out a whole lot, because that means you watched this entire video. And that helps. So thank you. But I guess that's everything I got. Again, drop your comments below. I want to know what you guys have to say, and if they're good enough, I'm going to definitely make a part 2 of this series, updating everything as I go. And hey, share it on your social medias if you guys like it. Seriously, I want Epic to see this video. That would be amazing, because then PvP could be a thing, like a good thing. I don't know, I just think that's really exciting. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Hey, until next time, toodaloo.